It's late. I'm really tired and I gotta go to bed. But we're there's been a couple of new flavors out in the stores. One of my fan pointed out, let me know that this was coming, and I finally saw it at the store this week, my local grocery store, and even in a 20-ounce bottle. Dr. Pepper Blackberry, which is pretty interesting because, of course, Dr. Pepper, the soda of 23 flavors, which apparently doesn't include blackberry or cherry or strawberries or coconut or um, other berries, is always, Dr. Pepper is just Dr. Pepper. It's always had that thing going. But it's interesting how in a marketplace where like Mountain Dew is peppering the marketplace with new flavors. They have what, five, six new flavors a year between the Baja and the summer flavors, the holiday flavors, and just cause here's maybe a new permanent flavor. And Coke, not to be outdone, is doing the same thing with their creation sub label, and they usually try to squeeze out a couple more years. Hey, did you notice that Spice, the new permanent addition to the Coca-Cola roster, didn't even last a year? Yeah. Anyway, and Pepsi, not to be outdone, is a couple more flavor is trying sometimes a couple three flavors of Pepsi out at one time, but Dr. Pepper is taking a more restrained approach. Let's put it that way. They have one new flavor a year, just about. Last summer, they had the creamy coconut, which was a summer flavor. And so it only lasted the summer. The year before that, they had strawberries and cream, which is still available if memory serves from my last trip to the store. So that was a more permanent flavor. Then before that, they had the dark berry, which was also just a flash in the pan. And before that, they had the Dr. Pepper with cream soda, which made a go of it for a little while. I remember because I kind of liked that and bought it now and again. But I don't think they do that anymore. So interesting how the Dr. Pepper is always Dr. Pepper. But what if you don't like Dr. Pepper? What if you like something else? What if you'd like a more coconutty drink or a strawberry drink, or you like a little bit more fruit flavor in your soda, or you just like variety, or you're some goofball who seizes on every new soda pop and reviews it online for some stupid reason. So that brings us to Blackberry Dr. Pepper. What's that going to be like? Blackberries are a little more, what's the word I want? Well, like raspberries, they're a little more tart than sweet. So maybe this will have a little bit more tartness to it, a little richer flavor, and then, of course, a fruitier flavor than your typical Dr. Pepper. But let's see how it is, shall we? Oh, geez, I've only just cracked the seal and I can smell the berry already. Yes, you can definitely smell the fruitiness. Not quite like Pepsi Blue where I could smell it across the room, but it's definitely pronounced. Wow. I say that because the fruitiness, for a change, is right up front. The fruitiness has grabbed Dr. Pepper, the usual Dr. Pepper flavor, by the hand and said, "Let's jump!" And it hits your tongue right away, and it stays there. Mm. Yes, it does linger a bit. So um, the berry fruitiness and extra sweetness is right there in the front. The Dr. Pepper is kind of walking alongside, maybe a step or two behind it. Um, but wow, that is a pronounced flavor. And of course, this being Dr. Pepper, it's got a big, hollow crunch. The bubbles scrub your mouth right away, but you can tell that there really isn't much else behind it until it comes back up later, and it's all in all at once, one big poof, and that's it. But fans of Dr. Pepper are familiar with that sort of mouthfeel and that sort of carbonation. Not sure how they pull it off, but yeah. So let's try this in a glass. Although, of course, colorless bottle. I'm curious to see as to whether there's any red or purple in the liquid, and it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's that typical Dr. Pepper, very dark brown, very dark caramel. Now, this is why I drink it from a glass. This is only like the second soda that I've tried where drinking it from the glass has a distinct difference from drinking it from the bottle. Or maybe it's because I've pummeled my taste buds with this for the last few minutes, and so they're used to it now. But coming from the glass, the fruitiness is dialed back considerably. It's much more like a regular Dr. Pepper, with a little more sweetness, a little more fruitiness, but not as much. That's probably because coming out of the glass, it comes over the tip of the tongue and hits the back of it. Although, where did I read somewhere that the old theory that certain parts of your tongue are designed for tasting certain things is actually kind of bunk. Regardless, wow, that is something else. If you like a Dr. Pepper and you're looking for a little bit of a change of pace, this is your jam. If you don't like Dr. Pepper and you're looking for a little fruitiness, if you like a fruity soda pop, this could be your jam too. Yeah, again, the berry lingers, but it's not as tooth-achingly sweet by a long shot as Mountain Dew Voltage. So this is something else. Um, yeah. So the question is, would I take this over a regular Dr. Pepper? And I would think that this would depend. If I just want something to drink, I would definitely take this. I think the flavor is dynamic, it's different, it's bold, it's fruity, it's really enjoyable, which is why if I was, see what I mean about that carbonation? Excuse me. Which is why, then if I was like having a cheeseburger, I think I would take a regular Dr. Pepper because this bold fruity flavor, I don't want to get in the way. Or, if I'm eating something, I want to enjoy that and not necessarily have this bold fruity flavor try and fight whatever it is I'm eating. So I'll just take a regular Dr. Pepper, which is more something that I'm more used to that I would expect, and enjoy my cheeseburger, my grilled cheese sandwich, chips, whatever. Actually, with chips, not as much, but like if you're having lunch, dinner, what have you, regular Dr. Pepper then. Otherwise, I would totally take this because this is really yummy, surprisingly so, I think. And that's pretty much all there is to say. It's Dr. Pepper with some bold fruitiness added. So if that's your jam, go out and enjoy. And thank you for watching, and have a good night.